Month of celebration for equal housing rights. National Fair Housing Month marks the Fair Housing Act, which was passed April 11th, 1968.
Yeah, the law is designed to protect Americans from facing discrimination in selling, renting, or buying houses. Tanisha Cordell spoke to Cleveland's housing advocates who say we still have a long way to go to achieve true equality.
Well, there's been a lot of changes since the Fair Housing Act originally passed, but local housing advocates here say we've got a long way to go. Residents here in Cleveland still facing discrimination today.
When it was first signed, there were only 4 protected classes: race, color, national origin, and religion.
And while the Fair Housing Act has evolved now in 2022,
the Biden administration just added an executive order that would allow protections under the basis of sex to include sexual orientation and gender identity.
Discrimination, in which the law was created to eliminate, still exists.
It was definitely a blessing that turned into a nightmare.
Amber Shai says her nightmare came to life after she and her kids moved into this Euclid home in July 2019. Amber says minor management issues came up before things eventually escalated. Amber, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, anxiety, and depression in 2005, says her 2 daughters graduating back to back on top of the pandemic triggered her.
My psychiatrist thought that having a service dog would be beneficial because then I would never be alone. And that she wrote me a letter basically to the landlord or to any establishment saying that this would be her service dog.
While Amber's lease approved of service animals, she says her landlords gave her an ultimatum.
They told me I had 24 hours to get rid of the dog.
Amber had to give up her dog and eventually agreed to leave her home of 2 years, but not before she reached out to the Fair Housing Center for Rights and Research for help.
I never knew I had rights.
According to the Fair Housing Center, more than 30,000 housing discrimination cases occur in Northeast Ohio annually. And each year, our region lands itself on HUD's radar.
On average, for the past few years, they have taken about 141 complaints just in our region for housing discrimination.
And the deep-rooted reason behind it all? Redlining.
We're no more integrated than we were 50, 60, 70 years ago. And that plays a huge part.
As a traveling sterile processor for hospital operating rooms, Amber now lives in hotels with no place to call home as of now.
It's very devastating for my family.
Well, Amber is currently fighting a legal battle with her former landlords. She says she will never rent again. She's currently taking on more traveling gigs to save up money and buy her own home. I'm Tanisha Cordell, News 5.
The Fair Housing Center tells us expanding renter protections is crucial to helping end the cycle of discrimination, but more importantly, spreading awareness. We're told many housing discrimination complaints go unreported because people don't know their rights and oftentimes don't know they're being discriminated against.